I like to spend my money on assets that produce cash flow, not on assets that cost money to own. For example, I don't own a Lambo. I'd rather invest in real estate, stocks, or multifamily syndications and get dividends and distributions than to put my money into a Lamborghini, which only produces repair bills.
You had a shareholder who asked you a question about gold over the weekend, and your response was pretty interesting. Berkshire versus gold. You want to talk about how that's performed over the years?
Yeah, but we can go beyond that. But certainly, when we took over Berkshire, Berkshire was selling at $15 a share, and gold was selling at $20 an ounce. And gold is now $1,600, and Berkshire's $120,000. But you can take a broader example than that. If you buy an ounce of gold today and you hold it 100 years, you can go to it every day, and you can coo to it, and you can caress it, and you can fondle it, and 100 years from now you'll have 1 ounce of gold, and it won't have done anything for you in between. If you buy 100 acres of farmland, it will produce for you every year. You can use that money to buy more farmland. You can do it, all kinds of things. For 100 years, it'll produce things for you, and you still have 100 acres of farmland at the end of the 100 years. You could buy the Dow Jones Industrial Average for 66 at the start of 1900. Gold was then $20. At the end, it was 11,400, but you'd all gotten dividends for 100 years. So a productive asset of any kind, a decent productive asset, is going to kill a non-productive asset over time. Now,
in wealth, the name of the game is cash flow. You are only truly wealthy if you can stop working and live off of your passive streams of income. If you haven't already read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, I highly recommend it. If you buy an expensive house or an automobile, you will have bills to match. Just ask anyone who owns a boat. Some say that BOAT is an acronym for break out another 1,000. Anything that does not produce dividends is a non-productive asset. Of course, you want to be able to enjoy fine things like automobiles, yachts, and fine homes. However, if you truly want to join the wealth building game, you'll need to put the majority of your income or the majority of your wealth into productive assets. And this can only happen if you live below your means. How else would you be able to save money? Try this thought experiment on for size. Suppose that you land your dream job. You are making that magic number that you always dreamed of. Take a moment and think about that magic number. Is it $100,000? $200,000? Is it some even larger number? Suppose you live at your means. The moment that you stop working, you're poor. Unless you saved your money, you've got nothing. You only lived rich. You did not actually attain wealth. Let's take two famous examples for the purposes of illustration. Jay Leno and Shaquille O'Neal. First, Jay Leno. Jay Leno always worked 2 jobs throughout his career. He famously lived off of one salary and banked the other. He would live off the smaller salary and bank the larger one. At first, that meant that he would live off of his comedy and bank his day job, which at the point was McDonald's or a car salesman. Once he landed the Tonight Show gig, he would do around 150 comedy shows each year, and he would live off of that income. Jay Leno never actually touched the Tonight Show income. And he followed the same policy during his time on Leno's Garage. Now, it's not as if Jay Leno never indulged his love for automobiles, but he did it responsibly. He never let it get in the way of his financial independence. Now, Shaquille O'Neal. When Shaq got his first $20 million check from the Lakers, he went on a spending spree. 2 days later, he got a call from his accountant letting him know that he had spent almost all of the money. After this wake-up call, he changed his ways, literally 180 degrees. Henceforth, he chose that he would spend only 1/4 of his paycheck and he would bank the rest. He went from being a poster child for profligacy to being the one who helped new team members manage money wisely. After his 19-year NBA career, he continues to make plenty of money acting in commercials. He never stopped hustling or remembering to save his money. You don't need to make money like Jay or Shaq to amass wealth and still live well. The key to becoming wealthy is to live beneath your means. This may look differently for you if you don't happen to be signing $100 million contracts with Lakers, but it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy life. By the way, this video is provided for informational purposes only. You alone are responsible for the consequences of choosing to follow the advice in the video. I have a quick mental exercise for you. Take a look at the items in your garage or basement. Ask yourself how often you use these items. Then, try to remember how you felt when you first purchased them. Were you proud? Hopeful? Were you excited? How long did it take for these items to end up getting stored in a corner? Consider a new definition of caring for your belongings. If I wear a book out, I don't say, oh, it's ruined. I say, I used it up. Thank goodness I didn't waste it by leaving it on the shelf. The real waste is not the things that you discard for overuse. It's the things that are in perfect shape because you never use them. Now, by this point in the video, I hope we all agree that it's better to hold assets that pay you to hold them than to have assets that you have to pay to hold. Get in the wealth building game by deciding what sort of productive assets you would like to own. For the real go-getters, that might be a business that you own and operate. For most, the first step will be to invest in stocks or mutual funds in your 401k. Others may be ready to invest in real estate directly or passively as part of a real estate syndication. Regardless of what you are interested in investing in, make a commitment today to live below your means so that you can save and begin to understand the value and the power of passive streams of income. Thank you, investors. See you on the flip side.